Welcome everyone. Today we will be looking at the unequaled class mod. The unequaled professional class mod, I should say, where it increases reload speed and shield capacity and gives you +6 to killer and 2 fang. You got the serifs, the longbow slags, singularity, the bee, sandhawk, the kitten. We also have the explicit unkept herald and a binary grog nozzle. Reload speed, ambush. This should be into rising shot for increased damage. We also have headshot for increased damage, increased critical hit damage, and reload speed, gun damage. Then we have bore, velocity for bullet speed, critical hit damage, some more critical hit damage when aiming down sights, reload speed and weapon swap speed, damage when something's not aggroing you, seen for shock damage, death mark, invitorate for gun damage, health regen, and movement speed. We got 2 fang and we got death blossom as the key builds. Killing blow for 500% melee damage to low health opponents. Max health regen, no, max shield regen and cooldown rate. We got movement, gun damage, and melee damage when we get a kill, and execute to get into the fight quicker. Let's go. Actually, first let me get a few ammo, a few grenades and whatnot. We'll deathmark him and execute to get closer. We'll use our unkempt herald to finish him off. I actually get the proc from the grog nozzle. We go in. We actually go down here. I tried to get a kill on him. I get him slagged, and I start using my sandhawk because it becomes a burst fire weapon pretty much. We get another proc off of the grog nozzle, which helps saves us. So we'll use our unkempt herald to finish him off. Actually, gonna swap to magic missile for like more guaranteed slags. Get a few grenades here. We'll keep him slag. We'll go in with deception and put some death marks on him and finish him off quite quickly. Getting the 80% damage from deathmark and ×3 damage from slag. I actually see the warlord up there to the left. He just did a ground slam. So I'm gonna go around and get a few death marks on them and slag them. Could not really get a bore here. I might have got 1 or 2 off. As you see, more orcs come out. I actually get stuck here. I'm stuck. So I turn around and get a little bit more healing. Trying to kill them as quickly as possible with unkempt herald because it works the best with this build. Jump over, just barely dodge that guy. Whew. Again, I just barely dodged that guy. So the warlord just leveled them up all again, and he became Duke of Orcs. So I'm going in, trying to kill him. There is a treant that almost brought me down there. So I'm gonna try to kill the Duke of Orcs, but I see I can get a bore off. Not the best play, because he was taking most of the aggro off of me. But the Duke of Orcs just completely ignores me and goes in for the other trains. I grabbed some iridium here. Actually missed that piece, so I had to go back and get that. And I finish off the Duke of Orcs with the Sandhawk. Go through the Treant and to grab his stuff, but I walked a little too closely and I took some corrosive damage, completely forgetting about the blue balls of death. So we just go through, pretty much finish off these guys. I cannot aim at all. Get a little bit more iridium. Just kind of finish off the last little treants here. I can actually get a boar off here, so I threw my grenades, get a death mark on, and kill them both in 2 shots because of 2 things. I'm gonna go up here, face the 2 treants up here, and see if I can get a bee. One treant is out and he is down. So I'm gonna try to avoid as much damage as I can. I just backpedaled all of that damage. I'm gonna try to get him slag. My slag grenades didn't actually work on him. So get him slag with my death mark. And I actually get hit here, but I avoid like all the other damage. So get a little bit more iridium. Does not seem that we got the bee today. Unlucky for us. Sweet, so we got a speed boost here, so we can just run through the level a little bit quicker. So we're going to go up to the Immortal Woods here. I really need to put Unforeseen into that or Fearless. Rising Shot. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're going into the Immortal Woods. Here's a quick look at my gear again. I'm gonna actually change this out for a corrosive conference call here. Not the best, has a banded grip on it, so increased reload speed, but increased mag, I believe. No, decreased reload speed, increased mag. So if it had a Hyperion, that would be better. So, just gonna check over my gear once more. Try to shoot the knights coming down. Quickly swap over to my conference call. The corrosive element is eating through their armor pretty well. So, this build kind of makes the conference call feel even more like an SMG, because it just shoots out at a much faster rate. So we're gonna try to get him slag and just melt through him with the kitten. So I have the kitten for just a little bit more healing, unlike the conference call. I'm actually gonna go to this bridge over here and fight these knights. We're gonna go over there later, but for right now we're just gonna do these ones. Hopefully we can get a mimic to spawn, and I can show you what it's like against a mimic. We're going to go see the dragons, and we're going to try to kill some skeleton wizards. Those teleporting douchebags. calmed them all down with putting my deception into the wall over there. I just can't land my shots, and I'm constantly on fire. Corrosive is not helping me here, so luckily Knight Champion runs out. I might be able to get him with my kitten here, and I do. So throughout my deception, heal up from the unforeseen, I believe it's called. I'm gonna try to slag him here with my grenades. It goes over to the other knight, so I just take out my Uncomb Herald, go on Deception, get Deathmark on him, and I'm trying to land those hits. I got a few criticals, so I do end up killing him. There we go. Killed him with a melee strike instead of a gun. So the ultimate BA archer is down. There is one guy left. Two guys left now. Try to finish them off. Crouch and get the kill on the other guy. A little bit more healing. Try to swap to the Grog Nozzle to get some healing, but just end up failing. So that's all the knights here. So we're going to go up, face a few skeletons and a few archers to get a diversity within the enemies. That's one knight down. Going in to kill a few longbowmen, like skeleton people. No, those are just longbowmen. So, skeletons will be coming later. So there is an element fire archer up there. So I'm gonna pull out my Grog Nozzle. I really wanted to pull out my not Grog Nozzle, my Pimpernel. I really want to pull out the pitchfork, but I ultimately decide on the Pimpernel for a little bit increased damage here. So he's running away. So I missed 4 shots. So we can make these shots count. My B is back up, so there we go. Here are the skeletons, actually. I'm gonna try to kill him, and I end up whiffing like almost all of my shots. We did not see that skeleton coming up on us, so we're going to be throwing a few grenades to gain some health. Go in Deception, and whiff most of our shots again. So yeah, I was just checking. It is an increase of 80% when they do have a death mark on them. So that does. I don't know if it's slag and then death mark or death mark and then slag. But if it's slag then death mark should be getting increased of ×3 damage if you slag them first. So that should be something like a rough estimate of 380% increased damage. But if you times it by 3, that's an increase of 300 damage. And 3 times 8 would be 24. So an extra 240% increased damage when it's slagged and deathmarked. So a total of 540% increased damage. Plus the B shield and the non-times 2 from the Unkempt Herald. So we should theoretically melt a lot of the enemies, get landing our shots on the Unkempt Herald first of all, and then getting the damage from the slag and the deathmark. So gonna finish up the skeleton halflings here. I just can't land shots. So we actually use deception while jumping backwards to gain a little bit of like distance from the enemy to disengage instead of engaging. We do end up getting hit there, but we did get deathmark, so we gain all of our health. The skeleton archer is being a pain in the butt. The skeleton crystal archer, I should say. They are 2 different classes technically. Not classes, but enemies, because they take 2 different types of damage. And can the crystal can actually reflect back. I actually miss all my shots on the grog nozzle there. Gonna try to kill this halfling. So we do end up doing that. The ultimate BA skeleton's gonna be a little bit harder to do because it's not exactly weak to corrosive and its resistance to fire. So try to go through his health, slag him. Try to shoot through his shield, see if that would help any. He's slagged and has deathmark. He's no longer slag. Let's try to get him slagged, and he's just not becoming slagged. And deathmark does end up being lost. So we'll finish him off, get a little bit of damage from the kunais, slag him up, and shoot. So now all we gotta do is kill the crystal skeleton archer. So try to get a boar off of the slagged skeleton halfling onto the skeleton archer. Here's some ironclad skeletons. Get them down. We are going to wait here a little bit to get to the teleporting douchebags of the magic variety of skeleton, the skeleton mages. So we kill that mage pretty quickly, and we also kill that giant pretty quickly. Smarter play for me here would try to actually kill the Skeletor first, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill him. I won't. So he moved, and I ran out of ammo, so I'm gonna die here. And we're going to go back in and retry this. Okay, I'm going to change out the conference call for the where is it at? The Flacker here. It was a good weapon in the pre-sequel. I'm gonna try to use it in number 2, see if it's alright or if it's actually terrible. So make sure all my weapons are reloaded. Okay, so we pull the sword out of the Minotaur here. Try to slag the gotta watch out for those eyes lasers. We get multiple of the enemy slag. Actually had the proc from the grog nozzle happen, but not much luck came from it. Finish up on killing that giant skeleton. Try to slag the last skeletons here to just quickly finish them off. Get a little bit of death mark on them. Try to get a bore shot. Kind of fail. I do end up shooting, though, that last shot from the flacker, and it spawns above my head when I shot it down. So, yeah, gonna put the flacker away. Confidence call would have been better. So I'm gonna go invisible here, kunai the magic skeleton, and they vanish. So I start throwing out my magic missiles to get a stun on the skeleton mage, and it kills him pretty quickly. So gonna try. We slag the Minotaur actually, but we run around and just pull out the sword. There's one last skeleton here, so we quickly kill him, and we will be running up to this chest to see if it's a mimic. I feel like I'm gonna die here quite a few times because I am not good against dragons at all. I die to them multiple times throughout playthrough. So yeah, I try not to play Tiny Tina's on a 1 life. So there's 2 dragons, 2 fire dragons it looks like. Go and get this ammo. Go invisible. Actually don't end up doing that much damage as I hoped. So I get a bore shot off, but not I just don't get enough healing back from it. So I'm just kind of stranded here. The dragons don't have enough health to actually kill them in time. Okay, let's go back into the fray and try to kill these dragons. Take out the flacker for the hammer buster here, because quicker projectiles from the hammer buster. So I get slag on him, I get a few damage, and I go down again. Try to get some shots off with the hammer buster, but I don't, sadly, and I don't do enough damage to the red dragon, and I die again, just like that. Hopefully 3rd time's the charm. Let's go back in. Used my deception way too early, and I missed almost all my shots.
get a bit of damage off from using the hammer buster onto one of the dragons. So use the death mark, start landing shots, more shots onto him. Pretty close here to killing one of the dragons. Comes down and kind of dive bombs me. Swap to the hammer buster to get a little bit extra damage. Swap to the unkempt herald to try to finish him off. And I just don't get any shots. I go down again. Try to get a few shots off of onto the weaker red dragon, and they both stop, allowing me to get a boar shot. Thankfully.
So we go through and we kill the first dragon. So all we got to do is focus on this last red dragon. Hopefully the next dragon is not a purple dragon, because that would decrease my damage drastically against them. So I do end up getting a lot of good shots off of that red dragon. Go down once again. I'm not the best player in Borderlands, as obviously. I do get the kill, and I get the ammo regen back. So it is a blue dragon, so that is good. Try to get a little health off of the blue dragon, and I get it. So try to slag him, but I have to reload my hammer buster to get off that damage. I get him with me unkempt herald. As we pump a few more shots into the blue dragon. I'm trying to see if there's any more grenades that could help me here to regain some health, but I don't see any. The fastball might have, but I would have to be accurate with it, so I'm going to pull out my pimpernel here to land a few shots. A few of my shot looks like it goes through the wing of the blue dragon, so it doesn't look like the wing's actually a physical hitbox. So I get Dragon Slag again, pull out the Unkempt Herald, and pull out the Pimpernel to pump in those last few shots into the Blue Dragon. I do kill the Blue Dragon, finally. I will be cutting it here. Okay, so we're at the lizards. They're just like miniature dragons, so they're not that bad. They're the green kind, so they would be acidic. So we fight technically 3 different kinds of dragons. I mean, they're not dragons because they don't have wings, but they use pretty much the same attacks and the same assets besides the wings. So we'll go up here. There are a few skeleton mages which I despise with all of my heart. I despise them. Much stronger feelings than hate. So we do end up staggering 1 to death. So I throw a few little more magic missiles. They're all going over there, so I thought I'd get him. I go down to my own grenade, so hopefully he doesn't go away, and I kill him. So hopefully this is a mimic, and it is. So we will deathmark him. Throw a few slag grenades on him. I don't think they can be slag, but he is dead. That's been a 0 double shot or 2-shot. So increased DPS due to the two-fing ability getting, I believe, bonus amp damage since it's not divided from the ×2 factor like the binary Grog nozzle is. So this is all of my loot. Some used, some not. I thought those were they were both the same weapon. I'm like, why do I have 2 lone guns? Not. I have 2 conference calls, female dog, short of fire, others. A few relics and class mods and grenades we didn't use, and that's pretty much about it. I got a few shields, but yeah, I'll be ending it off here. It has been Rocksite with Doubleshot Zer0. Hope you've enjoyed. Bye-bye.